Hello again team, it's Jess or JashiiCorrin and welcome back for another video. Today we are setting up for February in Rachel's everyday bullet journal. The theme that she has decided on for the month ahead is BDSM, and I low-key think that she suggested this just to ruin my search history. Can't say I knew a lot about BDSM before I started this setup, but I do feel I know a little bit more now. As we head into the time lapse, just a reminder that any of the equipment I use in today's setup is linked in the description box below, but here we're starting with the quote page. For this one I found a super cute quote which was, "Love has no limits, but it does have a safe word." I thought it was really cute that the O of love is made out of little handcuffs, and the fact that the quote is kind of related to Valentine's Day but also fits in well with our theme. As you can see, prior to filming, I did stick in a piece of blackout paper from my Archer & Olive Neapolitan notepad, and I've used the combination of the blackout paper with the pink gel pen as a decorative element on all of the pages for this setup. I don't use a lot of gel pen in my own setups, mainly because I find it often transfers even after it's completely dry, but the colour palette that I wanted to go for in this setup was pink and black. And I knew that having the bright pink on the blackout paper was the kind of contrast I needed. In terms of timing, from first touch of the pen to final erasings, the quote page took about 11.5 minutes, and then it was on to our February cover page, which took about 19.5. I will say I'm not very comfortable with drawing people. I wouldn't call it a strength of mine, so this one was very much a recreation of an image I found online. I'd also just like to say apologies if my voice sounds a little weird. We're just coming off the first week back at school and going from hardly talking at all for practically 2 months to talking pretty much constantly in front of my classes all week has kind of done a number on my throat. That, and I've also been trying my hand at live streaming, so I have been on YouTube every day this month so far, doing a live stream of something in either my journal or Vogel's journal. They have been so much fun, so much so that I've decided I'm bringing back the Month of Planning With Me series, where every day I do a video that's typically related to planning. Though previously when I've done the Month of Planning With Me series, it's been a pre-recorded video, typically featuring some kind of a tidbit, which is like a little bite-sized bullet journal related thing that in theory is a small enough concept or show and tell that it doesn't necessarily need to have its own full video. But for this round of the Month of Planning With Me series, I've decided to do live videos instead. Part of the reason for this is that I want to get a little bit more comfortable with being live on camera, and the other reason is because it just takes way less editing. For example, the editing for this video has already taken me something like 3 hours. That also doesn't include the time taken for making these layouts, which was at least another hour on top of that. And we're only at the almost 3.5 minute mark. Comparing that to each of my live videos, which so far have been between 1 hour and 10 minutes to 2 hours and 15 minutes. Effectively, it ends up being a lot more content for you guys to watch, with a lot less time spent editing on my part, because there is no editing. That's not to say that my pre-recorded and edited videos are a thing of the past, certainly not. I do have a lot more comfort with being able to edit videos before I put them out into the world, but I thought this would be a nice little change or a nice little challenge for myself for the month of February. Of course, if there's anything in particular that you'd like to see in the Month of Planning With Me series, in particular if it's live stream appropriate, do let me know, chuck it down in the comments. As always, I want to make sure I'm putting out content you guys are actually interested in. As you can see here though, we've made it to Rachel's monthly log, which took about 17 minutes to set up. On the left hand page we have a mini calendar and a vertical style monthly log, whereas the page on the right is open for notes and to-dos. Really, whatever she wants to use it for. And now we're up to the part that kind of ruined my search history. It took a lot of different search terms to find what I was looking for, because cute BDSM doodles didn't really lead to the things that I wanted to draw in this setup. Which in hindsight, it totally makes sense as to why that search term didn't work, but at the time, anyway. As you can see though, for our decorations here, I'm making more use of that pink gel pen on the blackout paper. I really enjoy using elements that have good contrast like this. You'll have seen on the cover page and also on the monthly log here, the lettering style I decided to go with for February is just a simple capital letter that has one of the vertical strokes done as a double. Then between those two lines I could draw these little X's, kind of to represent the back of a corset. I thought this was just another cute way to add our theme into the design, and it also makes our otherwise quite plain lettering look a tad more decorative. Flipping over though, and we are on to the first weekly spread for February. As you can see, I already ruled in the horizontal lines before filming the setup, along with sticking in the black paper to the corners on the right hand page. In terms of timing, the footage you see here took about 11 minutes, but if we combine that with the ruling and the sticking elements, in total the spread probably took closer to 20. I again made use of that lettering with the double downstroke and the little crosses, and on the blackout paper added more of our little BDSM doodles. The kind of like cute toy kind, not the other kind of doodle kind. While I only show me setting up one of the weekly spreads in this video, I did set up the rest of them off camera, and on each of them I tried to use a different combination of our little doodles. So as you can see on this one we have handcuffs and some little rope, whereas on other ones I had things like a paddle and a feather and assorted other toys. I'd say that it wasn't necessarily something I was expecting to draw in Rachel's journal, but considering every time we have a conversation about theme ideas she brings up BDSM, even if in jest, I can understand why it was our theme for February. For the final flip through though, we have our quote page on the blackout paper, and our cover page including our little lady with her whip. We have the monthly log with the combination of the mini calendar and the vertical style, and that page on the right for notes or to-dos. And then after this we have the weekly logs, each of them having a space for each day of the week on the left hand page, and then an open page on the right for, again, notes and to-dos. As you can see, each of those have been decorated with those little BDSM doodles, using different combinations on each page. Although this isn't a theme that I would have done for myself, I do very much like the way that it turned out, and hopefully Rachel likes it as well. I would love to know what themes you guys went with for February, and also if you guys have any suggestions of what I can do for my March theme, I'm pretty stumped. At the end of the day, my patrons are going to be the ones to pick, but I do need to give them a list to vote on, so if you have some ideas, let me know. As always team, thank you for watching. If you liked today's video, please do make sure to give it a big thumbs up, and if you hadn't already and felt so inclined, feel free to subscribe to my channel for more on planning, productivity and personal development. Until next time, bye!